Let me tell you a story that started with a question nobody expects to hear at the end of a long, expensive workday. Picture this. I'm just stepping out of my office. Yeah, one of those shiny buildings with security guards in suits, the kind of place where the windows always look clean, even in the rain. I'm dressed like a guy who spent his whole life trying to earn respect, not attention. And honestly, all I'm thinking about is making it to the airport in time to catch a flight to Geneva for some high-stakes conference where people say things like trajectory shift and mean it. The world feels like it's moving fast, emails dinging, driver waiting, briefcase in hand, when out of nowhere I hear this soft, broken crying. You know that sound, right? When it's so quiet, you almost convince yourself you imagined it, but deep down you know you didn't. So I look around thinking maybe it's someone's kid, maybe lost, maybe just tired until I see her. This little girl in a yellow dress that looks like it's seen better days with tangled blonde hair and big blue eyes, swollen but dry like she's run out of tears but not out of hope. She can't be more than 6. And she's just standing there staring at my car like she's waiting for someone to show up and prove her wrong about the world. I look around for a parent, a guardian, anybody, nobody. I walk over, and before I can even introduce myself, she looks up and says in this quiet, trembling voice, "Sir, I lost my memory. Are you my dad by any chance?" Let me tell you, I've had mergers and acquisitions hit me out of nowhere, but nothing quite like that question. I almost laughed, except the way she said it, so sincere, so raw, made it impossible. There was real fear there, but also this strange, heavy kind of hope that clings to you like wet wool. I kneel down trying to look calm, and I say the only thing that feels honest. "No, I'm not your dad, but I think I just became him." And just like that, my carefully orchestrated life flights, conferences, deals hit pause, and everything changed. Instead of heading to the airport, I call my assistant, tell her to cancel everything. She freaks out. Of course, Geneva, the press, the investors, but I can't focus on any of it. I'm standing in my office with this girl wrapped in an emergency blanket, hands wrapped around a mug that's way too big for her, just watching the steam rise like she's trying to remember something important. I ask her questions, her name, where she's from, anything. She shakes her head, tells me she woke up on a bench, saw my car, and thought, maybe, just maybe. That kind of loneliness, man, it gets under your skin. I call the police, a social worker comes, a doctor checks her out. She's physically fine, but the psychologist, Dr. Vargas, says what I'm already guessing: dissociative amnesia. Some trauma shut her mind down, locked her past away to protect her, and now she's here, a mystery in a yellow dress. The system wants to put her in temporary foster care, but I just blurt out, "She stays with me, at least until we know who she is." The social worker looks at me like I'm crazy, but I've got resources. Security, a house with more empty rooms than I'll ever use. They agree for now. I take her home. We drive in silence. She sits in the back seat watching the city slip by. When we get to my place, big, modern, a little too cold if I'm being honest, she doesn't say anything. I set her up in the guest room, but she says it's too quiet. So I make her a little camp on the floor in my office, and that night before she falls asleep, she whispers, "Will you still be here when I wake up?" I say yes, and for the first time in a long time, I mean it. My days start changing. I'm still a CEO, still have meetings, still pretend to care about the bottom line, but now my mornings are about finding lost socks and slicing apples for a little girl who insists on no skin. I read bedtime stories 3 times in a row and call her Lily, just a name that feels right, like it's always been hers. She never corrects me. The police find nothing. No missing kid matches her. She's just there. Quiet, watchful, never complaining, never begging for toys, just soaking up everything with eyes that see more than most adults ever will. Weird things start happening. She's smart, scary smart. She points at blueprints in my office and tells me which parts will overheat. My engineers took months to figure that out. She assembles puzzles upside down, reads my meeting schedule better than my assistant. But ask her about her lunch, her birthday, nothing. Just a blank. I start documenting it, not to test her, but because I have to understand. Every specialist I talk to, neurologists, trauma experts, they all say the same thing. Her mind is locked up tight. Still, she starts smiling more, following me around, asking questions about the world. My house becomes less of a museum and more like, well, like someone lives there. One night I find her drawing a building on a napkin. It's not a house, not a place anyone would want to remember. It's institutional, boxy, too many small windows offense. I run an image search, nothing comes up, but something about it feels wrong. I save the napkin anyway. The nightmares start slow. She mumbles in her sleep fragments. Names, instructions, please. Don't lock the door. They took the quiet girl away. I jotted all down, every word, because I know these aren't dreams, they're memories fighting to get out. One night she wakes up screaming about the humming in the walls, machines, cold air lights that never turned off. It makes my skin crawl. I bring in a private investigator, Dana, an ex-Fed who knows how to dig for ghosts. She digs into shuttered facilities, orphanages, private clinics. Finds a place in upstate New York called the Halden Project, destroyed in a fire 5 years back. No bodies identified, kids presumed dead, all records sealed. But Lily's napkin matches a photo of the place exactly. She didn't dream it, she remembered it. I keep all this from Lily. She's finally sleeping, laughing, drawing again. I don't want to rip her new life apart with old ghosts, but I can't let it go either. Dana finds one survivor from the fire, a night nurse Evelyn, now living under a new name in Ohio. I fly out, sit across from her in a diner. She breaks down when she sees Lily's picture. Tells me about the quiet one who always watched, always drew. There was another girl a little older who started the fire, helped Lily escape through a tunnel, then went back. She never made it out. I go home heart-wrecked and find Lily asleep on the couch, clutching a drawing, this time the building and two girls, one leading, one following. Underneath in block letters, she helped me. For the first time I realized Lily wasn't alone in her pain. She was saved by someone who gave everything so she could run. Maybe a sister, maybe just a friend, but someone whose courage still echoes. Life moves forward. I never tell Lily all the details. She starts to remember a little on her own, a face, a voice in the tunnel. She draws the escape over and over, and one morning she tells me I think she was my sister. Some things you just know deep down without proof. I ask Dana to search for the older girl, but it's like chasing shadows. The ordinary days start to feel extraordinary. Lily laughs, more opens up, asks about my childhood, about what scares me. For the first time, I talk about growing up in a house full of silence, about the pressure to be perfect, about losing sight of what matters. She listens, nods like someone who understands that kind of loneliness isn't rare, it just hides well. A new counselor comes into our lives, Hazel. She doesn't treat Lily like a puzzle to be solved, just gives her space to paint, to talk when she wants. Hazel starts staying for dinner for lemonade on the porch. Lily asks one night, "Can I call you Mom?" Hazel says yes, only if that's what she wants. It feels right, natural, like the world has shifted, but in the best possible way. One night I finally work up the nerve to give Hazel a ring. I'm not asking for perfect, just for something real, us together building whatever comes next. She says yes without words, just a quiet kiss in the kitchen while Lily sleeps. No fanfare, just peace. Years pass. Lily grows up tall, bright, curious. The nightmares fade. Hazel and I get married, just the three of us, no crowds, just family. Hazel helps other kids now, the lost ones, the quiet ones, and I build programs for kids with missing records. But at home, I'm just Dad, the guy who burns pancakes, who tells bad jokes, who holds his family close. One night, Lily hands me a notebook she's been writing in. My real life, it says on the cover. Inside are memories, dreams, the story of who she is now, and the things she chooses to remember, and the ones she leaves behind. I ask her if she feels like she's found her place. She says, I don't remember everything, but I remember love, and that's more than I had before, and that I realize is all that matters. We sit outside together, me, Hazel, and Lily, watching the stars blink on fireflies dancing at the edge of the yard. Home, I've learned, isn't about blood or birthright or even memory. It's about presence, about choosing to stay, to show up, even when you don't have all the answers. So, what do you think does justice mean? Erasing the past or building something better on top of it? Would you have done the same? I'd love to hear your take. Share your thoughts below. This isn't just my story anymore. It's a question we all carry: what makes a family? And how do we keep each other found in a world that loves to make people disappear?
Xin chào các bạn, mình là Trinh, mình phụ trách viết content. Trên đây là những công việc của mình là
Vamos supor, você falou negócio sério.
It is cold, yeah.
Next one?
Alright. Thank you, man.
Hey, if you guys have any trouble, let somebody know. Please.
After the tree to hold on to.
Yeah, they're on the fence.